Enter madman, stage left. The audience rises and holds their breath. They let the vampires into their house, pretend they don't see when the teeth come out. Put a band-aid on their throat. No one wants to rock the boat, and no one wants to talk about it. You're not supposed to talk about it. The curtain rises and the players come out. Webs of lies spinning from their mouths. Stop looking, listen for a little while. Attention to the men behind the curtain. Just look away when you see the blood spurting down to a steady drip. I promise to leave you a little bit. I'll be back for another drink tomorrow. I love the taste of your terror and your sorrow bathing in your blood. It's never enough. On the face of all mankind, our numbers up and the dead woman sign. Go along to get along in the tide by the siren song. The flames are empty and the crypts are cracking open. The horde's upon you and you stand there frozen, waiting for the word. Stand in line and wait. Don't follow the strings to find out who is pulling. Just drink your poison, keep on laughing and drooling, eating your own flesh. The master always knows what's worldwide genocide. The overlords of hungry parasites. They point the finger and the eagles fly. Raining fire, children die. Starving plague, paralyzed. A pile of bodies rotten, covered in fire. But no one wants to talk about it. Strings, no more bowing to the master. I tried to run, but they only came faster. Now I stand my ground. I ain't backing down. Silver bullets in my pistol, in my holster. My will is strengthened and my confidence is bolstered. Don't test my resolve. Don't test my resolve.
Hello and welcome to the Iron Mountain Hour. My name is Cliff. I'm joined with my buddies Tim and Dustin here. It is Sunday. What is the day? It's April the 18th? 17th? 2022. We're coming to you live from the Iron Mountain here in Carter County, Tennessee. I want to thank you for joining us. If you caught us through the video on the feral humans, we welcome you to the channel. We're a local channel, but we also talk about world events and stuff like that, as you've seen in our video about the feral humans of Appalachia. As I said, we want to welcome you to the show tonight. We are going to be talking about Easter a little bit. We're going to be talking about some local news. We're going to be talking about a little bit of this and that. We had Tim was down in Nashville last night. He was playing at the Hard Rock Cafe there. Vegas. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. How'd that go, Tim?
It was a gig.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a gig. I was less impressed with. I mean, I know that maybe to, but I mean, like, Goff and Cliff, they understand gigs aren't as exciting as people think they might be, especially when you're not famous, especially you just sitting around waiting to do your thing. But what I did find more interesting was it's been a while since I've been to Nashville, and y'all remember when they had that RV? I guess you'd call it a terrorist attack, even though the guy warned everybody.
Yeah,
go out
on the
there, go
AT&T
away.
building. Yeah.
Yeah.
That did more damage than I feel like they let on in the news. Like on the news, well, like when they showed it, it looked like it was had toasted the buildings a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it blew. I think it was the George Jones Museum. Maybe I'm speaking incorrectly on that. I know the exact the epicenter where you can see through the building and you can actually see the Titan Stadium on the other side of the river through the building. What used to be a melting pot. So I did find that on the address. But that was interesting. I didn't think it did as much damage as they had said it did on the news. It really destroyed that building. About did the whole block really, because now they're having to remodel all of that whole piece of Second Avenue right there, which got me thinking conspiratorial. Because then I'm like, wouldn't that be a real easy way to take out all those mom and pop bars to gentrify it overnight? Because now you don't have to do all this moving; you just blow everybody up.
Well, there were a lot of people who said that it had to do with the election. It happened right before the election, didn't it? There was, I'm pretty sure it was in October, late October, but it was like the main hub that controlled the internet routing for the whole southeast there, and all the what was it, CIA, NSA, all those different.
The AT&T building was on this side of the street, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the one that's Riverside was bars, and those are not demolished, but you can see straight through the building. And I guess this side over here does look more like office buildings and stuff. So I guess the AT&T was on this side.
Yeah, it was. It was parked against. There was no windows or anything. It was a flat wall, and because that was a lot of what people were saying is that this guy must have known that this guy must have been some sort of operative or something, because he placed it exactly perfectly to sever those communication lines, and at that particular time that he may have been some sort of operative, and then
Successful.
And it was successful, and for the time being, he was in the news for a few days, and then it just kind of disappeared. So that goes right with that, that he may have been some sort of operative, because they don't tend to report on those anymore. The news tends to cover up those sort of things more than they do expose them. But yeah, so Nashville sounds like it's pretty exciting.
I like Nashville. I'm going to say something maybe Golf can relate to this. I saw a post. Do you ever As Cities Burn?
Yeah.
Okay, it was one of the funniest blogs I'd ever found. It was the drummer from As Cities Burn put a blog up that really got the little, the hardcore scene tore up for a minute, that said, playing Nashville's a whole lot of fun when you're not playing Rocket Town. And I kind of had that same experience, because I've not been in folk and country ever. So the only time I've ever played the hard rock in Nashville was with rock bands, and it was upstairs, and I guess it's like the reverb room or something, and you're really separated from all the hard rock stuff at that point. But this time it was downstairs. And I had a lot of fun. And Nashville does look like a lot of fun. It does kind of make you feel a little bit goofy how literally almost everybody's wearing cowboy hats stuff. It's just what you do, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's you go to Hawaii, you wear a shirt. I don't know. But I could relate to that so much. I was like, well, I'm sorry if somebody from Rocket Town finds this. Sorry, Michael W. Smith. But I've always hated playing Nashville. But it's because I've always played Rocket Town. So anyway.
Well, real quick, if you're just joining us and you haven't subscribed to the page, please do that and hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. Just go ahead and let you know it's going to be Sunday and Wednesday at 10 p.m. like clockwork, except for last week. That's the first one. That's the first one, except for when I had COVID, that we didn't do a show on Sunday night. But we'll be here pretty much every Sunday or Wednesday. We're looking to expand the show to other platforms. We've had some people tell us that they were interested in watching on Twitch, but that was Pumpkin Spice, and we haven't seen her since then. So something tells me she might not watch us on Twitch.
Well,
but
that might be because she's on Twitch right now.
oh, that could be. We haven't.
Very preferential on what platform they want to
That is true, and that's the main reason we're on YouTube. Is that most people that
It's accessible.
yeah, most people use YouTube. I would like to use something like.
I would actually argue. Well, I don't want to argue. People are moving away from YouTube, like the younger people.
Yeah, that's true. I would like to use something like a Odyssey or
I like Odyssey.
a Rumble, maybe even to get started on another platform. Odyssey does have a Android app now. I think they didn't before. They had an LBRY that you could watch Odyssey videos through. I had a hard time using that, trying to set up and get us. I uploaded one of our videos through it, and it just didn't really work very well, and it skipped and glitched the whole way through. So I kind of got discouraged from using that, and I thought maybe we'd try something else, maybe Twitch or Rumble first. So
I know that from what I guess
my camera's getting glitchy.
mine's more music related, I guess, though. I guess this has a lot of videos, but as much as we can punk rock Kate on Spotify, that it seems like universal. Everybody just can pull up those real quick. So I don't know what it would take to put you on Spotify.
It wouldn't take much. It's the Anchor thing. I've been talking about that. Okay. I need to do it.
Well, that's just the hand. I think that would be the most accessible one to everybody is Spotify, at least in terms of that's what seems what everybody's using.
And I think even though I have some podcasts that I really like to watch on video, but most of the time I don't have time to watch them. So I understand that, and I listen to them at work most of the time.
Does Spotify not have the video?
They do, but most of the time is when I don't think we can upload video to Spotify. I think just like Joe Rogan and big accounts can upload video.
Is it like something you got to pay to do or something?
I don't know if anybody can do it. I think you have to be like Joe Rogan to upload video.
Or if it's just because they don't have the bandwidth to support everybody. Like YouTube's been working on their video platforming thing since day one.
Well, I mean,
and Spotify only started using videos because of Joe Rogan.
Right.
So
that's I mean, on my Spotify mobile app, I'll have like it'll show little clips of video with some of the artists, but for the most part there's no video with it. But no, I don't think just anybody can upload video. I think you do have to be like a Joe Rogan tier.
I've noticed like sometimes it'll show like almost like lyric videos on certain bands now, or like little like GIF kind of clips or something.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what, if anybody from Spotify is listening, I'll tell you what I would like from Spotify. I would like to be able to view the entire album cover front and back, and actually blow it up full screen and look at it. I love album covers, and I've been listening to Spotify I did Amazon Music for a while, but I switched to Spotify like probably a year ago.
Yeah.
But I've been doing streaming audio where I'll download a full album, and I'm an album guy. I like to listen to the whole album at one time. I don't like to, switch every now and then. I'll listen to a track here from one album to another, but for the most part, I like to put in an album and listen to the whole album. And I'll listen to it on my way to work, and usually I've got 35-minute drive, so I can listen to most of an album or a whole album. But
you can listen to grindcore discography.
That's true, yeah. Yep, and I can listen to Decade of Deceit. I've got that album downloaded on my Spotify, so I can put that on the car. But you can pretty much listen to that on the way to work. But I do like that they have the covers and stuff, but I would like to be able to blow them up full screen and look at them, because there's a lot of detail that a lot of artists put into those things.
Theory on that. Why not?
Tell me about it.
I recently uploaded an album probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the lady that did my artwork, Anita, she gave me she gives me three different sizes of the artwork. One is enormous, but one is big, one is enormous, and the other one is, I guess, small. Like it's still good quality.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to diminish it even more just to get it to fit onto Spotify's little album cover.
Yeah.
And I guess I can pull it up when I'm not showing the little live chat here. I think maybe Spotify does it just for
bandwidth reasons, possibly.
I think so. But if you ever look at Spotify, like, you can't pull it, even in that little space, it still looks a little bit muddy, in my opinion. I think that it's because you can't pull it up because it's almost like a thumbnail.
I wonder what it looks like on the web browser. Oh, I'm not even logged in here.
I don't think it looks any better on PC, because I listen to it on my computer sometimes, and it's basically almost like the same size as what it'll show on there.
Yeah, it was
it to full.
That would be my theory, is because it wouldn't let me upload a very high resolution picture.
Well, either way, I wish they would. And whenever I uploaded, whenever we made our album and I uploaded the album art, see, my wife Brandy made us a fucking killer possum for our let me see that. Yeah, looky here. Let me show you on this camera over here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that one up here, because that one you can see a little better. But you see this thing right here, on our Corned Beefs and the Pillbilly CD that Dustin and I made. My wife Brandy drew this picture for us, and it was like super high resolution. She made it digitally, and we couldn't actually upload it at the resolution which she did it, but it still came out pretty good. But you look at that liquor bottle right there on the inside. Dude, that thing was so detailed. She got a map of Carter County that you could see every little bit of. But, I mean, it still came out really well, but we did have to drop the resolution some to get it on there to where, you know, if you zoomed in and stuff, you would lose a lot of the detail that she put in there. But, like, on her original digital artwork, you could go zoom right into this and, like, see everything. But that's still way better than Spotify, even with that reduction of the resolution.
Yeah, like I said, well, like, I got my app right here. Minimize that. Just show you any of the albums that are. There's mine.
What's on your Spotify? What are you listening to right now? Bitter as Hell by the artist known as Tim. That's a good song. I listened to that on YouTube.
It'd be pretty narcissistic looking because I don't use any stream. I'm an asshole, so the only thing I use is Podbean with like 4 other people in the world.
Yeah.
That's as big as you can get because that's about the size of the file it would let me load.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that's no larger
You know
than
what
what
I'm
it
saying?
can get
Well,
on TV
it's
because
super
it
straight.
stays in the corner.
And yeah, I get that, but dude, like making those album covers is one of the best part of the art. I've
Why
always
the
loved
only
album covers.
physical medium right now are LPs because you have a 12 by 12, and then when you flip them open to your gatefolds.
I don't remember many of the songs on this album, but by God, I remember the artwork.
yeah. Well, that's
From when I was a kid. I mean, from when I was really young, this album, just totally enthralled me. And I remember a couple of the songs, like Easy Living and Traveler in Time. Well, never mind. I remember all the songs, but I think more than the songs, I remember the artwork on it. And I've always loved that album.
that's the reason I wanted to get interesting artwork for the records, I guess, because I want to make a record. Like, that is the whole point. And
Yeah.
I think Anita's work was really cool if you put it on vinyl. I guess I can shrink it
It
down to
is.
a CD. I don't know if I'll do a cassette or not because it would like bend the hell out of the image. You know, you'd almost have to do like a
You
sideways.
have to do another.
A lot of people are doing them. I met some
Yeah.
guys the other day called they're in a band called Achy, and they were putting out cassettes. They gave me one of them. It was pretty cool. I was glad to
People
glad to
just
hear
want
it.
something. I didn't really understand that sentiment I was playing somewhere. And
Well, these were younger guys too, and that was like
yeah, well, the younger ones make sense. I think I explained. A girl explained that to it. She said, I asked her, I was like, well, why are you buying CDs since you can't even find a CD player? She said, well, I've grown up with everything being in the cloud. You've never had anything you could touch. Mm-hmm. She was like, so now it just feels cool for them to have something that they can, do this with. Mm-hmm. And I get that. That's I remember when I first started listening to like CDs and stuff. We pirated them. Like I would find something on Napster or something.
But if I liked it, I'd go buy
I
it.
would go buy it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of those musicians that were fighting to keep it understood that it was just, you were losing a lot of sales, but those aren't fans anyway that aren't going to buy your record,
well, and whenever I downloaded stuff on Napster and LimeWire back in the day, it was like stuff that I wanted to listen to, but that I would have never gone and bought. Like I still went and bought the stuff that I would actually go and bought. It didn't keep me from buying anything. It just gave me the chance to listen to music that I would never have bought.
Yeah, it gave the exposure to a lot of stuff that I didn't even
Like I'm never going to go buy fucking Afro Man, okay? But I might download it on my
Right.
computer and play it when some friends come over or something, but I'm never actually going to buy that and bump it
I
in the
bought a
car.
bunch of stuff because of Kazaa and Grokster. That's the reason. That's how I found Finch. Was I found their demo before they were even on was it Drive Through? I think was the record label they were on.
Maybe.
But that's what a lot of musicians saw. File sharing as a very useful tool. That it's kind of like now. I can't have anything to sell when I go places, and people want to buy stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm not at that level where I can go carrying crap around. It's just too cumbersome. And I tell them, here's a card, and they can go to your site. You can stream all my stuff for free because. And that's what we were bitching about with Napster. You can't give my stuff away for free. Well, there you go, Metallica. Now you are. You're doing it anyway because Spotify ain't paying you dick for your song.
Isn't that how The Weeknd got big? Didn't he put all his stuff up on SoundCloud for
That's what
free?
they always say, but I'm kind of untrusting of a lot of these people's stories because it's just so amazing how
Yeah.
every single person that becomes a billionaire was homeless at one point. Yeah. I think he just
Makes a good story, doesn't it? Yeah, kind of like you were talking about with the America's Got Talent or whatever it was, where they asked you if you were
Yeah, I
homeless.
swear,
or-
page 2 literally was like, have you ever been homeless? Were any of your family members killed in the attacks on 9/11? It's like, what the fuck?
Just any
want a story.
sad story to
They
make
just
you a
want the
victim.
most awful thing possible to give somebody an underdog to root
Yeah,
for.
yeah. Well, everybody does love an underdog.
Yeah, they do, but it's just like I said, the theme of the show is the men behind the curtain. a lot of times. But hate to bust people's bubbles, but if you're watching it on TV, it's scripted as hell. It's like what was it? I don't want to give people credit, so I just won't even give the name of it. I saw a quote and it said, "The only reality TV you're going to find is how it's made."
I love how it's made, and I haven't seen it forever. Even it used to be on the Science Channel, right? And then my cable provider, like, I don't even want to watch TV, but they make it cheaper to get the fast internet speeds if you get if you get the cable TV. Yeah, so you end up getting the cable TV and the phone for less than just the internet if you want the fast internet. So I do go ahead and do that. But what this fun little thing they'll do is they'll put things like the Science Channel. They'll put them in there in your basic package, and they'll get you watching those, and then they'll be like, boom, Science Channel is no longer the basic package. You have to pay $15 a month for
or they'll be like, go buy the streaming app for $5.99.
Yeah. So that's actually, like, I'm a big fan. I've always said I'd rather have a la carte stuff from cable, so I am a fan of that. As far as
cable don't want to do it though, because some of those channels just can't support themselves.
Well, most of them they do though have an app where you can pay $5 a month.
Do they? I guess they fought it. They fought it for a long time though.
Yeah, they did, and a lot of them have it though, and you can watch it through your cable. And like once you sign up for the app, then you can watch it on demand on your cable for free. So they've kind of got a lot better with that. But the
writing was on the wall, that a la carte was where it was going when people realized that a dude in his college dorm room could make millions of views on YouTube, and people would just watch those videos and be very selective with subscriptions, and they shouldn't. I mean, and that's why they tried to bundle it with like, oh, you want A&E, the History Channel, and something else, but you got to take the Soap Network, where all we do is show you how we'll make soap and we sell soap, and it's just the Golf Channel. That's a plan. People actually watch that, I guess.
The Golf Channel or the Golf Channel?
Both.
Golf Channel?
That's what I thought you said, the Golf Channel.
Golf Channel is just like makeup tutorials.
Yeah, no, the Goth Channel, I guarantee you people watch that. People like those goth chicks.
I'm sure you know Mayhem, right? Yeah, the band Mayhem. I actually watched a documentary about Mayhem the other day. She was like, God. I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, they weren't fucking around.
Like,
no, they were pretty
late
hardcore.
80s, early 90s black metal scene.
No, that was hardcore.
It's like they were actually killing people for real.
Yep.
Like, it was funny in the documentary. It was like talking about how the scene was so influential and stuff. And you look at it now, and it really, honestly, not to be insulting to any of the bands I ever played, like the Hideaway and stuff, but it's no bigger than that. It's like it was such a microscopic scene in the scope of things, and now it's huge because of how crazy the whole storyline really was.
Yeah. Well, Dustin, did you get anything good this weekend? Did you get into anything exciting?
I did a small photo shoot Thursday, and I might have 3 more this week.
Cool.
On top of just working.
Hey, that's good, man.
You want to move into that full time?
I'd like to. I mean, this area is not the best for that.
Well,
sometimes people just, and it's like art. We know people are like real stingy on wanting to pay for arts.
But you got, if you think about it, man, you got 500,000 people in the Tri-Cities area, so the market's there. It's just kind of, you might have to travel a little further for it and you got a little bit more of a geographic area to get your name out there. But that's awesome, man. You're doing it. That's a good thing.
Yeah. It's sort of just the slow trying to, I guess, just the breakout, trying to get your name out there.
Well, tell folks your name.
It's the Scintillating Lens. It's touch hard to spell sometimes. SCINTILLATING.
The Scintillating Lens, and you can find him on Facebook there. You can see some examples of his work.
Facebook.
And Instagram, yeah, you can hit him up, and old Goff will take some pictures of you. That's not creepy at all. Just kidding. Old Goff's a good photographer. Check his work out. It's good stuff. The Scintillating Lens. Hey, I went and seen Hank Williams IV at the Tipsy Toad in Jonesboro this weekend.
He really played there?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty fun. Yeah, he's actually, I thought he was Hank III's boy, but he is Hank Jr.'s sister's boy. He's a great-grandson of Hank Williams Sr.
Still bloodline, though.
Yeah.
It's more like a bluegrass sort of thing, because I saw when he was playing at Ground Zero, South Carolina, I want to say.
Well, he's got a band, but it was just him, and he was playing with his guitar.
Down there.
Yeah, it was fun. He did. his voice. Hey there, Kayla Brown. Hello from Tennessee. Thank you for commenting with your pickle avatar there on YouTube. It's nice to have you join us.
Is this Pickle Rick?
It looks like it could be Pickle Rick.
I don't know if he's firing back to a classic AVGN pickle, shit pickle.
I
can't.
I don't know. I'd be impressed with Kayla if that were the case. But yeah, we went down to the Tipsy Toad. We checked out old Hank 4.
But was it advertised?
It wasn't really. Just my friends told me about it. I mean, there was a pretty small crowd realistically for, and this guy, I gotta say, he had his voice. It must be genetic because he had it right in between Hank Sr. and Hank Jr. That's right where his voice lied. And he did a few of his songs, but he mostly did a little bit of all the family songs and stuff. And that's what the people want to see.
Yeah.
So he put in some of his new songs in between here and there. And one of the songs he did was called Hank Williams Ghost, one of his original songs, and it was kind of about how he has all these expectations on him from being Hank Williams IV, but then at the same time he's like,
it is the Rick.
Hi, yes, it's Pickle Rick. Happy Easter, y'all. Thank you, Kayla.
I guess the lump on the head made it kind of look like a poop to me.
Well, it was hard to see because we only get a little. I mean, we're talking like a quarter inch is what we see.
I definitely can't see him.
in the chat here.
Would you call it? Of course, you said he was by himself. Do you think his live show, if he had a band, would be lesser or more rambunctious than 3?
Oh, I think it would be more rambunctious. Oh no.
Than 3.
No, definitely not more rambunctious than 3. No. He was more classic country.
Okay.
I mean, the stuff he did. He's got 4 in the Strange Band, which is a hard kind of, I don't know, grungy Southern grunge kind of thing. But that wasn't what he did last night. He did just classic country, and he did it really well. Just him and a guitar. It was very entertaining. I watched him. He played for about 2 hours, and took a break in between. But very entertaining. He was very personable. Worked the crowd well. He did a good job. I had a good time watching him, singing along to some of the old classic country tunes.
That's cool that he came too.
Yeah, but I liked it. My buddies Aaron and Lucas invited me down. Otherwise, I never would have known it was going on. But yeah, if you go Hank Williams IV and check out his Facebook page there, they're doing a giveaway and stuff. So if you want to win a T-shirt, stuff like that, go there and click on his page and check him out. I think he'll be back there in September to the Tipsy Toad in Jonesboro if y'all like to check him out.
September?
That's right. Yep. But he's a younger guy, probably in his early 20s, but he did a good show. He did.
It'd be cool to go shoot.
Yeah, it would. Well, hey,
just got banned from YouTube for violent rhetoric. Dun, dun, dun.
Dustin Goff threatens to kill. No, I'm sorry.
Local gothic man threatens to kill a celebrity.
Man, I shouldn't have said your whole name.
Violence of the black metal genre. Let's piece that together.
My name's Cliff Brooks, just since I said Dustin's whole name there. So we're doing some Harbor Freight, some local news here. Harbor Freight's, they're going to open their doors in here in Elizabethton on April 23rd.
They're already open though.
Are they?
Yeah.
Soft opening, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a grand opening.
So if you want to go by
there, it's like now open.
Oh, it says open 11. Open April 11th.
Oh. Further clarification, the store's already open as of April 11th. Yeah, I guess they did do a softer. That's a pretty bad miss. But yeah, so if you want to buy, go buy you some cheap Chinese tools, machines, stuff like that. There you go.
Machines.
Well, I mean, I bought a rock tumbler from there.
Oh, okay.
A Chicago Electric Power Tools rock tumbler that has done really well. We've been tumbling in it nonstop for 6 months to a year, something like that.
Tumble a rock for?
Well, if you want to polish,
if you want to polish this little thing.
Well, if you find like agates and the last set we tumbled, the last set we tumbled was we actually had some obsidian in there, and it was really cool. So it looked like space obsidian, like it looked like it had galaxies and stuff in it. It was really neat looking. We tumbled a little bit of everything to see what it looks like, and me and my wife we like to go down to the creeks and find different stuff. Today we went down and found a couple of good agates and some quartzes and stuff.
A really like redneck kind of innuendo-esque sort of song about tumbling. It's really going to just be about you guys getting rocks out of the river.
Hey, that's good, man. I like that. Yeah,
We're tumbling.
that's great. Make a Jason Aldean type song out of collecting rocks. But yeah, if you want to go down to Harbor Freight and get you some cheap Chinese tools,
The Pittsburgh tools, I dig a lot of that stuff.
well, yeah. I mean, I don't mean to say that in a derogatory way.
You're like, it's cheap if you buy it, if you break it, and you're like, hey, it paid for itself to get the
Yeah,
job
exactly.
done.
Exactly.
And if it lasts more than that, you're like,
If it's something you're not going to use many times, yeah, go ahead there, knock it out. And it's good. They got good gifts too. If you want to buy somebody, gift tools, stuff like that.
impact
Pretty good
sockets
place.
are good to get from there.
Oh yeah, because you're going to wear them out anyway, aren't you?
I guess maybe this includes Bristol.
Well, let's check this out. 22% of Tennesseans live near toxic release facilities. 17% live near of people live near toxic release facilities. Now, what does that mean? They say right there 22%, and then they say 17% right down below that.
Wrong date sort of situation.
Yeah, I guess it could have been. This is from WJHL. This is from the 15th. We're talking about, and then they have to break it down by the race. Well, each racial group, how many of them live by. So, but when you look, the Native Americans are a little bit higher. There's no explanation why that might be. They don't go into that.
Well, are you talking about the Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander ones?
No, I was talking about the Native American. We're looking at 25.4%.
Wouldn't the Native Hawaiian ones be because they live next to volcanoes?
Well, no, they're talking about in Tennessee.
Oh. But there's a volcano in Tennessee.
But I think the bigger picture here, other than what color the people who live next to them are, is that we have 633 sites that are releasing 73.5 million pounds of toxins into Tennessee in 2020.
A toxic release site. I guess that's my question.
So let's go down a little bit further and we'll look. The EPA's TRI program recognizes 770 chemicals with any site that manufactures or uses these chemicals at above average levels qualifying for listing in the TRI. Now, I've got all these articles listed in the description of this video if you want to read any of this stuff and check this out yourself. Now, the facilities report the amount of chemicals they release annually to the TRI, with the release of a chemical meaning it is emitted to the air or water or placed in some site of land disposal. Now we're talking electricity, metals, mining, chemicals, hazardous waste, but not all toxic chemicals are listed in the TRI. So that's not everything that could release. But let's look at this here. We got the most people living in toxic release sites in Wisconsin, with 37.3% of the population living near toxic release sites. And we got down the bottom of the list, we're looking at Hawaii with 6.5% of the population living near toxic release sites.
Those volcanoes, now that my question isn't ridiculously stupid.
I don't know.
I mean, surely only...
But that's a small percentage of the population.
The whole state's a
That's what I'm saying. Surely it's not 6.5% of the population live near volcanoes. And I know that probably sounds like a stupid thing for people to be bringing up over and over again. Volcanoes. My point is, I saw an article came out by BuzzFeed or something like that. I'm pretty sure. I know that's not real news, but the information is relevant here. One of the biggest issues with living in the area of Hawaii is what they called fog, VOG. And they said there's just certain times of the years where the volcanoes are very swelly, and it's like smog. It sticks to your window. It's just a very harsh thing. What you got here in the chat?
Kayla says, I live near Orny. It's kind of scary to think about the toxicity. What is Orny?
Orny. Well, tell us about Orny while we Google you. Orny's another ancient term too, though.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, we're going to have to look that up too. Oh, Oak Ridge National Laboratory, or ONRL. Okay.
Definitely not the same.
Yeah, Ornal. But we are going to have to look up Orny for the serendipitous connection there. So I'm going to put that in there so we don't forget about it. But so I guess she's talking about Oak Ridge National Laboratory. And that's true. We do live pretty close to them. I mean, they're just 4.5 hours away from us. If you drive the speed limit, if you don't, it's a lot faster.
What, you said Oak Ridge?
Yeah.
What about NFS?
I thought Oak Ridge was right next to Knoxville.
Well, it's between Knoxville and Nashville, right?
I thought it's a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, it's like you'd be not.
No, Nashville's about 4.5 hours. Yeah,
Nashville's
sorry, it's
4 hours.
probably about 3 hours away. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a lot closer.
Yeah, you're right.
I heard, I don't know if this is true or not. I heard the national average near not to scare people, but I heard the Oak Ridge National. Yeah,
Oh, is it? Yeah, it looked like an L, an
Yeah,
I.
it looked like an L, yeah.
It looked like an I, Kayla. Sorry.
It did, actually.
I heard the national average at the MS is higher near Oak Ridge than
MS.
yeah, multiple sclerosis.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's
It
still
could be.
relevant, but I heard that.
I mean, they did. That was where the Manhattan Project came from. So they were definitely doing a lot of, radiation stuff down then, and ever since then they've been doing. Who knows what they do now? I saw a piece on Discovery Channel. I think it was probably 5 years ago about how a bunch of Russian spies had infiltrated Oak Ridge National Laboratory. I thought that was interesting. It's probably right about the time that everybody was saying that Trump was a Russian agent and stuff. You started seeing this story about how Russia had infiltrated Oak Ridge, and now we're seeing in the news how Russia is totally inept and now they're not able to do anything. But thought that was an interesting article because it or an interesting episode of whatever this show was. Let's see here. What else we got? I was going to mention too the Houston or the Holston Defense Army ammunition plant there in Houston or in Kingsport. Why do I keep saying Houston? I had a story about Houston earlier today, and I guess that must be slipping in my mind. But over there in Kingsport at the Holston Defense Army ammunition plant, that's one of the higher toxicity areas around here. Kayla says, yeah, there's a lot of mutated animals in that area. I wouldn't doubt it's affecting the humans too. Yeah, that'd be.
I wonder what it is though specifically. I know that at one point in time, Eastman or the area of Eastman had a higher cancer rate.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that They said I don't know. They said that's lowered since BPA got eliminated from plastics because apparently BPA was very toxic and when it was
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But
Cause cancer and cause boys to not produce testosterone correctly, so that
really?
boys didn't develop properly. Yeah.
Good thing I wasn't drinking no bottled water. I was drinking with that Mountain Dew and Dr. Nuts.
Getting that good old Peter Shrinking Yellow number 5. As I drink my Mountain Dew here.
It comes in plastic. That probably had BPA in it for years.
Oh God, we didn't have like that.
Y'all know,
Plastic. We had cans.
y'all had.
Like metal poisoning or something.
Well, the aluminum cans had plastic liners too, so you're not
Did
getting. Yeah, they still do.
They still do.
All aluminum cans are plastic lined.
I'm going to keep using all this information to keep supporting my obscene Dr. Enough habit because that's about all I drink out of glass.
Glass.
Yeah.
I've been drinking out of nothing
glass.
but glass since I was like 14.
Hey, we got another.
It's healthy, I guess, healthier.
We talked
I like glass.
several episodes ago about how we had this. It seemed like we had a lot of teachers and authority figures messing with children in this area. Kayla says, I'm drinking Mountain Dew right now. You and me both, sister. Mountain Dew and
What is that?
vodka. Reka. Yeah, it's an Icelandic vodka. Feels good with the Mountain Dew. We had an episode where we talked about how there were several teachers being charged with assaulting students or trading sexual favors with students or doing all kinds of any kinds of and it seemed to be a really common thing, especially recently over the last a few months more than anything. But it's kind of been common, and I'm sure it's all over the country too. But we've seen several instances of that over the last few months, and then today. Oh, well, this was from the 16th, so this is from yesterday. And I usually don't like to show people's faces. And I mean, it's true, he may not be guilty. I guess maybe I shouldn't, but the news is showing his face. He's been accused of it, and they said they did an extensive investigation into this guy. And it seems like he's pretty credibly accused of sexually assaulting multiple children, touching 8-year-old girls at school. And if you were going to cast a pedophile,
How old is he?
He is 32, I think.
Look at that.
If you were going to cast a pedophile in a movie about, some fucking pedophile.
Well, not a Jimmy Savile type, more like a John Wayne Gacy type.
Yeah. Look at this guy.
That's a Virginia grown John Wayne Gacy.
Now listen.
Unoriginal fuck.
I'm a bald man. I'm a bald man. Look here. I've been bald since I was 23. So that's not a statement on his baldness, but look at that guy.
No. This is not a statement on baldness. This is a statement.
First of all, you got to give up the ghost. You've lost that fucking
It
hair.
has nothing to do with that. I'm talking about, look in the center. I know nobody else can see this. But if you draw, he's like Wooly Willy. If you draw all around him, this is Wooly Willy. You know what I'm talking about? The little thing that you put on magnetic chains on? But that has John Wayne Gacy written all over his face. Just shameful.
That's the face of a man who knows he's about to be raped. And I like seeing that look on the face of a man who has fucked with fucking children. So, yet another case of that in our areas, but I'm glad he got caught. I really hate that those children.
Look how soft he looks.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just something. I'm not. I guess when we talking about pedophiles and pedophilers, I guess when we start talking about stuff like that, I try to take it to a comedic place because it's almost one of those things where you either have to come in so heavy-handed it's ridiculous and uncomfortable you'd rather not talk about it, but to get the information out, it's almost better to make fun of it. But there's just something about these guys, most of them, it's like the reason they got involved with children in the first place, there's no woman that would want to go home with that. I'm not just trying to be mean. I'm not insulting anybody out in the crowd that might look like this. But look at the demeanor.
But if you are in the crowd and you do look like this, you should probably hit the gym and stop eating the fucking cakes and fries.
I've seen dudes walking around big as Chris Farley and Patrice O'Neal, and they are getting tail. This is not the way to do it, to be a piece of shit, to be a sneaky little bastard, to go after kids. Man up, get some bones to be turned down a few times or something. There's just something that has nothing to do with it. There's just something in the look in that guy's face that says, I have no confidence, so I'm going to do everything very sneakily. And that worries me because these people keep getting positions of authority.
And they always tend to work for, you saw in the news recently a bunch of people down in Disney, right as Disney is in the news for, opposing the law in Florida that says you can't talk to kids about sex if they're under 8 years old at school. Like, not that you can't talk to them about gay sex. That's not what it says. It doesn't say you can't talk to them about being gay. It says you can't talk to them about sex, relationships, and stuff like that, period, if they're under 8 years old. But for whatever reason, if they're under third grade. I think it is.
Still third grade. We didn't have sex ed until fifth grade.
Yeah, but, their biology has to be taught at some point. And, I mean, I can see the argument for, well, there are kids in puberty in fourth grade. It's crazy, but it's happening.
I mean, it's an overcorrection response to the fact that people are walking in there going, all right, second graders, this is a dildo.
Right. And that's what people are up in arms about. It's not that people are teaching kids what's going to happen to their body as they get older. It's that they're including, this sexual, a lot of people call it grooming, and I would have to say that, yes, that's the case, because when you start talking to children about sexual preferences, before they even know what sex is, that is influencing what, how they're going to view sex. So I definitely think that nobody, gay or straight, should be talking to kids about having sex at that age.
I think where we start losing ourselves in the weeds is when we start even bringing the LGBT into it.
What the fuck does that have to do with it?
That's what I'm saying, like, and this is the way we go about it. I've been looking for a real way to put this into words, because if I can't put things into words, it makes me feel twitchy, because I feel like I can't explain myself the reason I feel the way. A lot of the problems, and I'm not going to call these people woke. In my opinion, a lot of woke stuff is like misguided efforts, like, I'm going to go protest this Target because a guy over here got killed. Like, when you're going after kids, and it's almost like a nefarious side to the LGBT, which is very unfortunate, because there's a lot of people, most LGBT people out there are, the only reason they have to over-identify with a group is because that's the only option they had in the days. But now you've got people that are using that movement. It's almost like pastors that would take advantage of, like, I don't know if anybody ever had the over creepy youth pastor that would want to hang out all the time because he didn't have any friends. And
yeah, dude, when we were in high school, we had a youth pastor he was like 21, 22, and he was banging all the high school girls. Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew one of those guys. And so it's kind of like now that we've had the reverse, you've got these creepy ass people that, I don't know, it's like they don't have any friends, so they got to like force themselves on these kids, like where they've not even explained to Timmy what an erection is. They're going to now tell him where he should put it. And I don't know. I don't have any kids. So maybe it's really stupid for me to try to. I feel like at some point somebody's gonna have to start investigating into some of these, into the left part of it, because it's starting to become an echo chamber of just insulting them. I'm trying to find some redemptive qualities, but I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to feel like, what was it, Noah, God told him to go find 10, and he kept lowering the number of how many righteous people he had to find before he flooded the world, and it's like, I'm starting to lose myself out here, guys. You keep doing dumber and dumber shit. Stop making me defend people's dumb shit. Like, is this really what Sodom and Gomorrah was? It wasn't gay people. It wasn't homosexuals. It was people that walk into the schools and going, all right, third graders, this is a dick, and just pulls it straight up.
Well, listen,
okay with that because it wasn't a man that did it. It was a woman. You see what I'm saying? That's how they're going to argue in court.
Well, listen. I mean, here's the crazy thing about it is you have they passed this law saying no talking to kids about sex, right? No talking to kids about relationships under this certain age. And then you have all these gays and trans activists come out saying, whoa, this is an attack on us. It's like, so why are you so upset about it if you weren't planning on talking to these young kids about sex and relationships in an inappropriate manner? Because if you weren't planning on doing that, then this bill shouldn't matter to you at all. And here's something that I've always thought too. Like ever since the trans, kind of became okay. There's always been trans people. There was always been people who dress up as people of the opposite sex. Going back thousands of years, that's a phenomenon that happens. It's in a small percentage of the population, but it happens. But it's like here recently, it's gone up quite a bit. But what the hell's wrong with being a gay kid? Okay, so say you're an effeminate young man. What the hell is wrong with that? Why do you have to be a woman now? Why can't you just be a gay guy? Why can't you just be an effeminate gay guy? If you're a tomboy, if you're a girl, and maybe even if you're gay, why can't you just be a gay girl or a butch girl? Why do you have to be a guy now? If that's what you feel, fine. But I just don't understand why that's you're encouraged. Not only
that's the part I have a problem with.
You're encouraged to come out as a gay person, or not as a gay person, but as a trans person, rather than say an effeminate gay man, or you're encouraged to come out as a trans man rather than say as a masculine gay woman. I mean, what the hell was wrong with just being a masculine gay woman or an effeminate gay man?
There's no money in that. I don't know if that's where it really ends, but it seems like it keeps going back to money, and I guess gay people don't require surgery.
Yeah,
I don't
never really thought about it like that
or not. No. I don't mean, like, you can go Alex Jones with it, and he's saying like there's chemicals and lots of things. I guess you talked about.
I mean, I think there's something to that. Yeah, there is a lot of chemicals in the water that affect people's.
And like, I don't know what's really going on with people. I'm trying to stay in a very judge-free zone, but at the same time, I'm wondering when people are going to reach a breaking point and they're just going to start flipping out, because now it's not leave us alone, we're just innocent people that want to dance in a club and dress funny. Now it's, no, we're in your schools and we're going to talk to your kids about stuff you're not comfortable with.
And if I whip my dick out in front of your daughter in the bathroom, then that's fine, and you're a bigot for telling me that that's not okay.
Well, I mean, I can take it even down to a lower notch just to make it fair, and I can say this as a non-religious person. It's the same argument with Bibles. They don't want Bibles in the school because of XYZ. 8 years old. That's not that.
And I agree with that. I don't think there should be Bibles in the school except for for as far as anthropological story and history story. But I mean, as far as the school teaching the Bible, no, I don't think that should be. I think that they should teach about the different religions and all this stuff, but I don't think they should encourage people to believe in that stuff. But
I don't even know. Like, I guess I mean, this is probably a really bad person to be even talking about this stuff with, because like my opinions are just so wiggly on everything. Not even wiggly. I feel like I lean into the absurdity because that's where we're at now. Everybody's in a rat race to try to outcompete me. But their absurdity is not genuine, and it pisses me off. Yeah.
You are, I will give it to you, Tim. You're genuinely and 100% absurd.
So what happens when everyone else goes to absurdity as a mainstream is you start going as normal as possible.
Yeah, that's too. Normality becomes.
See me dressed like I'm a cast from The Office or something.
Normality becomes punk rock.
Well, we're getting there.
Hey, let's look at this real quick. This is from the CDC. U.S. mortality range is age 13 to 18, 2008 to 2020. Let's look right here. We've got the COVID-19 pandemic. We're starting at late 2019, 2020. We do have an increase. Okay, let's look here. Back in SARS, right? Remember SARS from 2008, 2009. Look, we got more deaths from respiratory diseases from SARS.
But isn't SARS in the same family?
This is the SARS-CoV-2. So this is the original SARS that made the news. I mean, there's lots of different kinds of severe acute respiratory syndromes out there, but this is the one that made the news originally in 2008. South Park did an episode on it where they were like, "Oh, I need some beer," and what was it he said? And Sprite and chicken noodle soup and blankets or whatever, and that's the cure for SARS on the South Park episode. And so we actually had more respiratory deaths per 100,000 in 2009 due to SARS-CoV-1, or I don't know if it was COVID, SARS, the first SARS epidemic that we had back then, than we did from SARS-CoV-2 in 2020. We had 300 deaths per 100,000. Now I know I didn't have the show going at this time, but I was telling people, whenever they started all this bullshit with the lockdowns, I was like, you are going to have way more trouble from starting, and you'll just have to take my word from it, folks, because if you'll look back on this show, I've made some predictions that have come to pass, and it's not because I'm a fucking prophet or a magician or you know, or
on Instagram,
or a
follow up on Instagram too,
or a fortune teller.
The saint, Cliff's the devil.
That's right.
We're going to entertain you.
That's right. So join us. Where you at, Kayla? We haven't heard anything from you since you're drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, there,
get in
Crow.
there. Get in here in the chat. Where you at, Crow? Where you at, Solar Power? Y'all get in the chat with us and shoot the shit. But
Ishtar.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But
You know, there's before we go there, when we get there, remind me, there's a Mexican god, Ishtar.
okay.
Which is suicide.
All right, we'll talk about that. But yeah, look here, guys.
Related.
We're looking at see if we can get it to come in. We're gonna have to switch to the other camera so the folks can see what we're talking about here. Let's go back to the main camera and let's get on to the display capture. Here we go. Maybe.
Please don't let.
There it goes. Now, U.S. mortality. Now we're looking here, if in case y'all didn't see this earlier, 2009 we had 333 deaths per 100,000. This is from the CDC, United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which they failed big time. We're looking at 333 deaths per 100,000 in 2009 from acute respiratory deaths. Now we're looking at 2020, 312. That's less, but we locked down the economy, right? We shut down everything. Everybody stays home except essential workers. We don't. We're social distancing. We're 2 weeks to slow the spread, and as they say, the worst part about this 2 weeks to slow the spread is the first 2 years. But now let's look here. Now, again,